There are currently hundreds of missing people in Colorado, and for those who identify as Indigenous, cases often don't go solved. Rochelle Hammond went missing in Alamosa County in August of 2019. Her mom worries she may never see her daughter again and questions also the efforts put into finding her.
I feel that they just, chalk it up as, oh, she's just a runaway. I mean, who would run away? She left here with a bottle of water, a pair of sneakers, shorts on, and a top, pair of sunglasses. Her truck is here, all of her clothes, her computer, everything she owns. There is no way my daughter would put me through this kind of torture and pain, just not coming home.
And there's now a push in our state to make sure cases like Rochelle's are never forgotten. And tonight we're giving you a 360 in-depth look at this issue. Denver 7's Megan Lopez is live in the newsroom. Megan, a new bill would create a liaison office to help in cases like this.
Yeah, that's right, Shannon. That bill is set to be introduced in the legislature this week. It would create an Office of Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives, otherwise known as MMIR. The office would be tasked with creating an alert system for missing and murdered Indigenous people. It would train first responders on how to handle these cases. It would work on improving data tracking, review cold cases, and more. It would also take a closer look at deaths that were ruled to be a suicide or overdose, but under suspicious circumstances. One of the big hurdles that these cases face is jurisdictional complications, where there's not a clear understanding of the protocols for interagency cooperations since tribal nations are involved. We spoke with the bill's prime sponsor, Senator DANIELSON, about why she's bringing this bill forward.
Indigenous people in Colorado, in particular Indigenous women and children, are victims of violent crime at an extraordinarily higher rate than any other group of people in the state and across the country. So I felt it was my obligation to do what's right.
We also heard from families today about what an office with this focus and these state resources would mean to them. Todd Lertgen-Tharingel's sister Kim has been missing since March. She was last seen at a light rail station in Greenwood Village. His family has come up with a reward for money and put up billboards to try to help find her, but they say many others can't because they don't have the resources.
A lot of the Native families that are experiencing this may not have the wherewithal or the means or the resources to mount real significant efforts to identify and find their loved ones that may be missing. I can't even put into words how happy that makes me and how supportive of those families a approach like that would be.
Talking about the bill in the last clip right there. As of December, the Colorado Bureau of Investigations shows us that 14 missing Indigenous people are here in Colorado. 15 other states have already taken steps to address MMIR cases. I'm live in the newsroom. Megan Lopez, number 7.
All right, Megan, thank you for that. Now, a little bit of context on how similar programs work. Now, we don't have to look any further than Wyoming. That state created a task force in 2019 to address the issue of missing and murdered Indigenous people. And they say one of the biggest problems in cases either not being taken seriously or just going unreported altogether.
What we still face is the fact that these crimes and these missing people are vastly underreported for this population. What we keep having happen in our state, and I know other states, is we have bodies that are turning up, and we'll find out that this person had been missing from either our state or another state months ago, never reported missing.
And a lesson Colorado can learn here is better focus on data. Wyoming officials say the government has become so data-driven, they've had to put extensive work in to update records tracking race.
A separate bill being considered in the state Senate aims to reduce the time it takes for law enforcement to report missing people in Colorado. Under current law enforcement must report missing adults and kids into state or national databases within 24 hours. Well, Senate Bill 95 would reduce that time to 8 hours for missing adults, 2 hours for missing kids. This bill already passed the state Senate. It was introduced into the House last week.